It's been about 2 months since the Ethereum merge, and as a result, a total of 2,000 Ethereum have been added to the total supply, where normally through the proof of work model, there would have been over 600,000 Ethereum created. This right now shows that Ethereum has been on a strong deflationary trend for its total supply. Now, like most people, you may have been expecting a bit of a price surge following the successful launch, but instead, Ethereum crashed as low as 30%. But I will say, things are looking a little bit better, because right now, since the update and the merge, we've seen a 20% bounce back up, and I figured it's finally time for an update video on Ethereum after this merge and some of the things that we can expect to see next. So more specifically, in this video, I'll be breaking down everything you need to know about Ethereum, why it's been struggling, and cover also the most important news regarding its next upcoming upgrade and my price predictions for what may happen next. So the Ethereum merge was first executed on September 15th, hitting a high of $1,658. Since the merge, Ethereum's price had dropped as low as $1,150, but in the past 2 weeks, Ethereum's price has also recovered and is now trying to break past the resistance level of the $1,650 level that was tested when the merge first occurred. So taking a look at the chart for the past week, you'll notice that there were two breakouts that occurred with Ethereum, where it made a new short-term high of $1,675, but it's important to note they were false breakouts. In a more healthy positive breakout, we would actually see Ethereum being able to surpass $1,650, but blow past it to a certain point where we could even see $1,700, $1,800, $1,900, or even a $2,000 Ethereum getting hit once again. Now, a lot of numbers are getting thrown out here, but I just want to keep this video very simple. So we're going to be giving you the support levels, the resistance levels, just ideas of numbers to keep an eye out for. So in terms of support levels for Ethereum, be on the lookout for $1,250, which has been the key support level since the Ethereum merge. Now, it's also important to note $1,150 for Ethereum, where this is the lowest point it touched since the merge happened. The final psychological support level for Ethereum is going to be at that $1,000 zone. Before, in this bear market, we've seen Ethereum slide very close to it, and anytime Ethereum has slid under $1,000, even for a brief moment in time, we have all these bots, all these whales, all these traders who have these limit orders already set in place, where basically if Ethereum ever does slide under $1,000, that opportunity to buy it has been shown historically to come up very quick, and the opportunity to buy it has been very short. So if you happen to be checking out Ethereum's charts and we see $1,000 support level getting approached, then that might be a time for you to consider either dollar cost averaging into the market or to be placing a small bet. Not financial advice, of course, but just what we've been seeing on the charts. In terms of resistance levels, which is also very important to note, because I know a lot of people are still holding Ethereum bags and they're not really waiting for more buying opportunities. A lot of people are waiting for the moment on when is the right time to sell. Like we mentioned, $1,650, which is the current resistance level right now, and this is going to be the highest price level on the day of Ethereum's merge event. And then following that, we have $1,800, which is going to be Ethereum's high a month before the merge, and still very close to the 200 EMA. The psychological resistance level for Ethereum is going to be at that $2,000 point. This is the highest price level that we've seen before since May, and it is still only a fraction of what Ethereum was on the road to hit. Now, just as a reminder for anyone who has not been stoked about the price action for Ethereum, just keep in mind there's still a lot of potential, especially knowing that the price action of the all-time high that we saw back in November, pretty much 1 year ago from today, was at $4,627. So now that you have a general idea of some numbers on when you should buy Ethereum, when you should consider selling, let's go over some of the updates that have happened since the merge. Now, although the price action doesn't reflect it, the Ethereum merge was indeed executed flawlessly. It was quoted by the co-founder of Starkware, Eli Ben-Sasson, who said that everything was supposed to happen the way it happened, and none of the things that people were worried about ended up happening, and that's still terrific news. What we saw with the successful merge is that Ethereum became a better settlement layer and a more friendly platform for layer 2 solutions. Following the merge, we also got word that Ethereum's network power consumption went down by over 99.9%. It's like a bottle of hand sanitizer, 99.9%. To give you an idea of how drastic it is, this is equivalent to the energy consumption from Ethereum coming from 2 hours of watching videos on YouTube. So I think it's safe to say say Ethereum did a good job on what it was promised to deliver. But like all good things, there's still been some downsides, a little bit of cons coming alongside the merge. So despite all the celebration happening through the Ethereum community, we also got a lot of concerns related to the blockchain's centralization and higher regulatory scrutiny. So these concerns came right after the merge had occurred, where it showed that 46.15% of the nodes for storing data, processing transactions, and adding new blockchain blocks were attributed to just 2 addresses, which ended up being Lido and Coinbase. The more valuable a staker's position is, the more they will be rewarded for validating those blocks, where it could eventually lead to a situation where just a small number of wealthy individuals or groups control the majority of the stake and earning a disproportionate amount of income coming from Ethereum's upgrade. This leads to having more influence, more voting power, and eventually, possibly in the worst case scenario, we see something like Terminator Skynet, where individuals who want to could take over the network. And I think that's like the most grim and unlikely situation, but it just points to us at one of the flaws of proof of stake concepts. Taking a look at some additional data, you'll notice that current staking activities are coming mainly from Coinbase, Kraken, and Binance, which are now accounting for over 60% of the staked Ethereum. At the same time, you have to realize that Coinbase, Binance, and Kraken are still representations of the people. So if you do decide on staking Ethereum, most likely, if you have money already within an exchange, you're going to be using that. So even though the data may not look good on paper and you just see a bunch of these whales having a lot of these positions, when you realize that most of them are regulated exchanges that are trusted by the people, it also isn't too bad. I personally think the biggest issue that comes about this is actually regulation from the SEC, especially Gary Gensler, where they might be targeting these major centralized exchanges, knowing that they're going to be the little weak spot, the sensitive trigger point for some of these other crypto projects. Gensler has also mentioned that staking from large centralized exchanges looks very similar to lending, calling out high yield products that caused the recent market meltdown and lumping all of these products into the same category. The SEC has not taken a lot of what we've seen happen with the recent crash just lightly. We think that moving forward, more and more regulations are going to be around the corner, and I do think that is going to be one of the biggest challenges that a project at this scale may see. All right, so we pretty much just covered the pros and cons of Ethereum's past merge, and with that, you can calculate whether or not you think Ethereum should be at a higher price than it is now. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk more about what is going on with Ethereum's next big upgrade. A lot of people knew about the merge, but it seems like everyone forgot about what is coming up next because they have a ton of plans still lined up. All right, so the next upgrade is going to be called Shanghai, and this is projected to happen at some point in 2023. So the Shanghai upgrade is going to be made primarily to address the efficiency and scalability issues that we saw from the most recent upgrade. In the most anticipated proposal, also called EIP 4895, we also got word which this would allow for those who have staked Ethereum on the Beacon chain to withdraw their stake alongside any rewards that they have earned over time. For anyone who didn't know, right now anyone who has staked their Ethereum as part of the validator process on the Beacon chain still has not been able to withdraw their funds or collect their rewards directly. Now, under the whole umbrella of Shanghai, we also have EIP 4844, which is also going to introduce something called proto-dank sharding. And no, I did not make that word up. That is actually a thing. Now, this proposal is going to allow for more data to be processed on the network and also, therefore, decrease gas prices even more. Basically, what you need to know from all this is that nothing has officially been concluded on what is coming up next. So in the best case scenario for the Shanghai upgrade, we would see users now being able to withdraw their staked Ethereum alongside any of those rewards that they've accrued. Also, in the most ideal situation, we'd see a decrease in the Ethereum gas fees, and we'd also see a fix in scalability and the efficiency. All right, so with all that being said, how high can Ethereum go in the short term and the long term? When can we expect to see the price surge once again? And will the merge event help Ethereum in the long-term run? To single-handedly just answer those questions, yes, I believe everything is going to work out in the favor of Ethereum. So Ethereum's monetary policy was simply to reduce the token supply to 1600 ETH per day. The biggest point to note is that right now, the 1600 Ethereum supply remains for staking rewards, and it's cutting its daily supply by about 90%, where essentially Ethereum will be at 0% inflation and could become even more deflationary than it is now. The biggest issue isn't involving Ethereum's technology. I think right now what's going on is that we're still seeing the US Federal Reserve, which is aggressively increasing interest rates for the past few months, and as a result, with government treasury bonds that have been having a significant yield, people are still choosing these type of assets, the bonds, over other risk asset investments like crypto. In addition to the economic just loomy doom cloud that we have going over the crypto space, but it's also the regulatory pressure that we've seen happen upon crypto with the recession running wild and short-term investors now stepping away from the asset. We've seen the government going even more crazy with trying to set up even more rules through this time. With the reality of things, the Ethereum merge and the upgrades have drastically improved the tokenomics and the fundamentals of the project. Ethereum is single-handedly better now than it was before, but we haven't really seen the price of it blow up. I don't think we're gonna be seeing the explosion until the overall market conditions recover. And I'm not just talking about crypto, I'm talking about the entire state of the US economy, the current recession, and basically when investors feel like, okay, I don't need to be hoarding all of my cash right now, I can be a little bit more loose, I can be a little bit more risky like I was back in the bull run, and that's when we could see the explosion of Ethereum happen. Like mentioned before, Ethereum reached $4,800 during the previous bull cycle without any of its new upgrades that it's made. In the next bull market, I think it's a very strong possibility that we see a $6,000 Ethereum, $7,000 Ethereum, even that $10,000 Ethereum is very viable. If we take a look at this just logically, there's going to be fewer tokens in circulation. There's going to be a higher demand for Ethereum as more projects are going to build upon its scalability. And if you've been hodling Ethereum throughout the past up and down, it's really just been a lot of downside action. You might as well consider taking your money and your investment even further by taking advantage of just what they've had to offer. And that's going to be all the passive income strategies and being able to stake your Ethereum. We've been talking about staking a lot, but I know a lot of you guys still haven't done it. You're afraid for whatever reason it is, but it is literally passive income. And although it's not going to beat that 8% inflation we're seeing within the United States, it is still better than nothing, averaging at about 3 to 4% back on your money that is already within the markets. Staking does also have the benefit of just having such minimal efforts and being able to get free passive income accumulating, especially if you have a larger portfolio. But if you are a bit more on the risky side, make sure you look into lending, because lending is still another popular way for investors to generate passive income from their Ethereum investment. Now, typically investors make profit by lending crypto to borrowers with a higher interest rate, and this can still be done through centralized or decentralized lending platforms. Basically, the point I want to make is that there's still just so many ways for you guys to continue making money, and all the little income sources will add up over time. If you keep in mind the reality of the bear market, it would be the worst time to sell your investment off right now. And everyone just has their Ethereum unstaked thinking, you know what, I might, sell it tomorrow or the day after that, thinking that having the flexibility of doing that is going to be better, but sometimes staking it and forcing yourself to not be able to sell through these lower times may be even more beneficial, all while you continue to earn more interest on the side. If you wanted to take a step further, if you have Ethereum was used widely across NFT markets. The NFT market still has not fully recovered. There are still many opportunities, and I think if you still focus on those blue chip products that everyone was just drooling over in the previous bull run, you could find yourself making an even more significant return using Ethereum to leverage yourself in those products. When everyone is looking away, look towards the opportunity there. If everyone is scared and running away, move forward and try to find a way for you to buy up what they think they're afraid of. Logically, Ethereum has gotten better. Logically, Ethereum is continuing to improve its tokenomics, and those upgrades that are coming up are still underway. To give you my price prediction, I just think Ethereum is going to be much higher than it is currently now. And out of all the cryptocurrencies I would pick, I think this still has some of the highest return for the lowest amount of risk in comparison to other altcoins within the market, just because of how high the market cap runs for Ethereum. And if we compare this to the older brother Bitcoin, I do think you're still gonna have a chance to make way more money through this. We've seen it unfold throughout the past few weeks. We've been seeing the gains accumulating, but I do think the future of Ethereum and its potential is still untapped. It's just gonna be a longer play. It's gonna take a few years maybe for it to pan out, just because we don't know how long it'll take for the government to get in control of its inflation and of what those interest rates may look like for the next few years. But like most things, the market will move in cycles and we'll turn out to be in a better place than we are in now. Now, if you guys found any value in this video, be sure to like it down below, share it with someone, drop a comment down below, or maybe even better, drop down below the comment keyword, the secret phrase that we usually do, and that is going to be napkin. Now, in addition to that, if you guys want to check out the links down below in the description for Binance, they had a crazy awesome sign up bonus promotion just using our link down below in the description. And with Binance too, you can find yourself being able to stake that Ethereum given the option too. If you're outside the US, I have a link for that. If you are within the US, I have a link for that too. Check them out down below if you guys want to get started. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram if you haven't done so already, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.